Welcome to the newspaper review. I am your presenter, Fatou George. On today's standard newspaper headline, journalists barred from Assembly Committee's inventory tour of Jammeh's assets. Imam Kuyate gets massive solidarity at police station. Man convicted for operating pharmacy without license. Government launches over $80 million rice project. Gambia named 4th safest country in Africa. Dabo Bensouda contest for UDP flag barrier. Russian oil scandal. Chief of Staff says Assembly's findings against GAM Petroleum boss weak. Now the news in detail. Last week, the National Assembly Communications team sent a notice to the Gambia Parliamentary Reporters Association, PRAG, requesting them to nominate one journalist to cover site visits by the Special Select Committee investigating the sale and disposal of Jammeh's assets. They insisted that, due to the nature and sensitivity of the visit, they are requested only to invite one person from PRAG and GRTS to join the committee. PRAG responded by nominating its president, Mr. Omar Ba of the Standard newspaper, to represent them and share any information available on the visit. However, a few minutes before the team departed, a few other uninvited journalists arrived insisting that they wanted to join the team, and following some consultations they were allowed by the committee's chairperson, Honorable Abdoulaye Cissé, to join. Chief of Staff Modou K. Cissé has said the findings of the National Assembly Investigation Committee is weak in the case of GAM Petroleum General Manager Yoro Jallow. Among other things, the inquiry committee in the so-called Russian oil scandal said Mr. Jallow unfairly denied alleged to local oil marketing companies at the National Depot to favor approach FZC, the importers of the Russian oil. The National Assembly investigated the suspected dubious importation and sale of petroleum products from a Russian ship and recommended for the immediate suspension of Mr. Jallow, as well as for criminal perjury proceedings to be initiated against him for deliberately misleading Parliament. The Global Peace Index 2025 has named Gambia as one of the safest countries in Africa, with a ranking that reflects remarkable advancement in the nation's stability, peacefulness, and social resilience. Gambia currently holds the 4th most peaceful country position in Africa and ranks 55th globally according to Global Peace Index 2025. It added that the safest African nations include Mauritius, Botswana, Namibia, the Gambia, Sierra Leone, Madagascar, Ghana, Zambia, Senegal, and Rwanda. These countries excel in political stability, low crime rates, and peaceful governance, making them ideal travel destinations. According to the Global Peace Index, the Gambia has emerged as a peaceful haven with beautiful coastal attractions. Sierra Leone, with its growing security, invites visitors to explore its unspoiled beaches. Imam Abdul Karim Kuyate, whose controversial summons against the Magal Touba prompted the Gambia government to apologize to followers of the Murid sect for his comments, yesterday turned into instant hero when he was invited by the police over the matter. Large crowds gathered at the edge of the city of Banjul to accompany him to the police, chanting Allahu Akbar and expressing solidarity with him. The Imam then reported to the police before returning to the crowd of admirers who were satisfied that he was let go. The Ministry of Agriculture has officially launched a $5.6 million Rice Belt project, a collaborative initiative founded by South Korea to transform the country's rice sector through advanced seed cultivation, modern infrastructure, and international expertise. The project, launched recently at the Bakadaji Hotel, marks a major milestone in the country's agriculture development and food security efforts. The K Rice Belt project is part of a sweeping effort involving 7 African countries supported by a $5.6 million grant from South Korea. The initiative's central goal is to increase rice seed production, introduce resilient and high-yielding Korean rice varieties, and boost food self-sufficiency for Gambian communities. In sports, large crowds continue to flock at the Serekunda West Park as the 40-team summer football Jambour completed a second action-packed week. Among the week's thrilled encounters was the much talked about contest between early peace setters and hot title favourites Bilbao FC and hot-headed pretenders Tababi FC. The contest predictably ended in a close result with Bilbao turning Tababi 2-1 in front of a capacity crowd. Bilbao, still lacking its wounds from a disappointing cup final defeat last season, is not leaving anything to chances and is hell-bent on picking maximum points from each match. The ground also watched the delayed Week 1 fixture between Team Onana and veterans Unicorns FC, which ended 2-2 elsewhere. There were wins for defending champions Campbelltown, who beat Jatas 2-0 to keep their title defense on course, and Tankil FC, who tracked the distance across Bursui to beat Pipeline FC 1-0. Moving on to the Voice newspaper headlines, Nigeria deploys 20 health experts to the Gambia. KMC Mayor Talib Bensouda joins UDP presidential race. Minister Baji reaffirms government's commitment to sports development. Government validates national performance policy document. Rights group calls for probe into alleged police torture during protests. Mayor Bensouda advised to exercise patience and protect his legacy. Now the news in detail. The Nigerian government has deployed a team of 20 health experts to the Gambia to strengthen the country's health services. As part of a technical assistance agreement between the two nations, the medical team arrived in the Gambia on Saturday, August 30, 2025. The Nigerian High Commission to the Gambia hosted a warm reception for them on Monday, 1st September 2025 at the Nigerian High Commission office in Bakau. The political landscape in the Gambia is shifting as Talib Ahmed Bensouda, the mayor of Kanifing Municipal Council, KMC, has officially entered the race to become the United Democratic Party's, UDP's, flag bearer for the 2026 presidential election. Bensouda, who serves as the UDP's National Organizing Secretary, has submitted his application to the party, making him one of the first candidates to formally seek the UDP ticket. His decision has been met with celebration among his supporters, who have long anticipated the move. He is one of the politicians that represents a new generation of leadership within the Gambia's largest opposition party. Honorable Bakari Y. Baji, the Minister of Youth and Sports, has assured the public of Gambian government's strong commitment to developing sports for the benefit of the country's youth. Speaking at the opening of the International Referee Candidate Course IRCC for beach volleyball at the Baobab Hotel on Monday, Minister Baji emphasized that sports infrastructure is a key objective of the 2025-2028 sports policy. We believe that while an individual can excel in sports, progress will be slowly without the proper infrastructure, he acknowledged. The Ministry of Public Service last Wednesday led the validation exercise of government's National Performance Policy document at a ceremony held at Metsi Hotel in Kololi. Presiding over the opening ceremony, Honorable Babukar Boy, the Minister of Public Service, said Gambia government created Civil Service Reform Program 2018-2027 to address merit-based recruitment, promotion, and drive socio-economic growth. The cornerstone of this program, Minister Boy explains, is the development of a performance management system designed to promote accountability, fairness, and discipline, as well as result-driven service delivery within civil services. In sports, the Gambia Volleyball Candidate Course, which officially Federation is hosting the Open in Banjul and will run until CAVB International roughly September 7, 2025. The course aims to elevate the technical and officiating standards of beach volleyball referees to meet international requirements. According to Baidudu Jallo, president of the Gambia Volleyball Federation, the training will enhance Africa's competitive edge and visibility in global volleyball, especially in preparation for the Dakar 2026 Youth Olympic Games. The CAVB has been actively promoting refereeing excellence, as seen by their recent appointments of African referees to officiate in various FIVB competitions, demonstrating the organization's commitment to prioritizing the development of volleyball on the continent. Now to the Fourier newspaper headline. Water stream contaminated by untreated wastewater, rising public health concern. Committee probing Jammeh assets begin State House visit. 2 Ghanaian men fined $50,000 each for selling unauthorized herbal medicine. Man accused of assaulting TikToker Skyboy changes play. Peace Network CEO calls on politicians to unite, not divide. Now the news in detail. Untreated wastewater from compounds along the Koto stream is polluting the canal, raising alarms over potential public health risk. Residents and environmental officials warn that the contamination could accelerate the spread of waterborne diseases such as cholera, diarrhea, and typhoid, and expose communities to harmful microorganisms and chemicals. A walk along the stream reveals pipes buried by compound owners discharging wastewater directly into the channel. Residents say the practice has become routine, turning the stream into a receptacle for both liquid and solid waste. Subsistence farmers who use the stream to irrigate banana plantations and small family gardens said the wastewater has damaged crops and contaminated food. Health experts warn that such exposure risks soil pollution, the accumulation of heavy metals, and the transmission of pathogens to humans. The Chief Executive Officer of the Peace Network, Mr. Alassane Justice Jallow, has called on political leaders to prioritize unity and peace above all else, urging an end to diverse tactics as the Gambia approaches the 2026 general elections. Speaking during a recent community engagement event in Badibu, Kerewan, Mr. Jallow emphasized that politics should transcend tribal, religious, and regional differences, advocating instead for a shared commitment to national development and progress. Politicians have a duty to unite people and communities. Our diversity is a strength, not a weakness, he said. 2 Ghanaian men, Stephen Kofi Ona and Gojo C, were each fined $50,000 for selling and manufacturing unauthorized herbal medicines in the Gambia. The case, brought before Magistrate Aissatou Jallow, was presented by Police Inspector O. Jaite on behalf of the Inspector General of Police. Both accused men were unpresented in court and pleaded guilty to the charges. In the court's proceedings, Magistrate Jallow entered a guilty plea on behalf of the accused, who admitted to the crime. Police prosecutor O. Jaite detailed the facts of the case, explaining that Ona and C had been involved in manufacturing, preparing, and storing herbal medicines at unauthorized premises in violation of Section 59 of the Medicines Control Act 2014. In sports, Gambian international midfielder Ibrahima Dabo has signed for Serie B side Bari FC on a 3-year permanent contract that will keep him at the Italian outfit until 2028. The move ended Dabo's 6-year stint with AS Roma. The 23-year-old is reported to have left Roma on a free transfer, with Roma retaining a future sell-on clause in the deal. SSC Bari announces the permanent acquisition from AS Roma of the registration rights of Ibrahima Dabo June 6, 2001, Bakote, Gambia. The African midfielder has signed a contract until June 28, the club stated on their website. Dabo will wear the number 5 shirt. Now to the point newspaper headline. Keita unveils explosive list of corruption cases across ministries. Talib Bensouda enters race for UDP flag barrier. Minister Drame hails government's 17% enrollment surge with extra 387 classrooms. Broken dreams, the price of childhood on Gambia street. Now the news in detail. The Gambia's political landscape has entered a new chapter as Talib Ahmed Bensouda, the mayor of the Kanifing Municipal Council, formally declared his intention to contest for the United Democratic Party's presidential flag barrier position in the 2026 elections. Bensouda represents a generational shift in Gambian politics, making him the first confirmed aspirant to step forward for the UDP ticket and potentially setting up the most consequential intern contest in the party's history. Bensouda, who also serves as the National Organizing Secretary of the UDP, submitted his application to the party's secretariat earlier yesterday, according to Kirfatu. Talib Ahmed Bensouda's rise to prominence has been anything but ordinary. Born in 1986 in Bakau to a family deeply rooted in Gambian public service, he is the son of Ami Bensouda, the distinguished former Solicitor General, and Ahmed Bensouda, who served under President Dawda Jawara. The Gambia, in a grip of a heated debate after young cleric Imam Abdul Karim Kuyate during a Friday sermon declared that the annual Magal of Tuba is haram, warning worshippers that anyone who goes there and dies will end up in hell. The remarks, which compared nightclubs goers favorably to pilgrims, have triggered outrage, solidarity, and an official government apology to the Murid community. Supporters of Imam Abdul Karim assembled peacefully at the arch in Banjul on Monday, hours before his scheduled questioning at the police headquarters. Chanting prayers and messages of solidarity, they vowed to stand by the cleric, whom they described as a courageous voice in Gambian Islam. Police invited the Imam to appear at 2 p.m. following a complaint filed by the Murid community, who called his sermon offensive and disrespectful to their faith. The comments have since incited one of the most popularizing religious debates the country has witnessed in recent years. As Imam Abdul Karim faces police questioning, the streets of Banjul remain charged, with his critics demanding accountability while his supporters pray for his vindication. The outcome of the investigation could mark a defining moment for religious discourse in the Gambia. The Ministry for Finance and Economic Affairs Honorable Sidi Keita unveiled a sweeping list of corruption, fraud and abuse of office cases that cuts across the heart of public service. The disclosure came at a high-profile press conference hosted by the Ministry of Information, Media and Broadcasting Service in response to 3 petitions submitted by Gambians against looted assets gala. Minister Keita directly addressed growing frustrations over corruption, lack of transparency and weak governance reforms. Government is not sweeping these matters under the carpet, Keita asserted, pointing to a dossier of ongoing cases that span ministries, agencies and state-owned enterprise. Every single file is being pursued through due process. He disclosed that at the Ministry of Health, 2 senior officials, a former permanent secretary and a former program manager of the National Malaria Control Program, are standing trial for corruption and economic crimes in state versus Balakande, Omar Sise and Momodu Lamin Keita. In the Broston farming community of Farato, where women face sleepless nights and most often only access water during odd hours, a new chapter of hope has begun. Thanks to the dynamic foresight of Gambian philanthropist Nene Cheasin Kebe, with her new borehole initiative aimed at ending the daily nightmares women in that area faced. Her new borehole initiative, worth $300,000, has now brought joy to many in the area. From the look of things, women farmers in Farato, who once fought over water, now celebrate a future of dignity, productivity, and peace. For Binta Tunkara, president of the Farato farm Kembenkafo, life before the borehole was a constant talk of war over water. We have been begging for water for the longest, she recalled. By evening, we will argue among ourselves because everyone was only allowed to fetch 2 gallons. Families with more members benefited, but the rest of us suffered. At times, we stayed in the farm until midnight, then rushed back at 4 a.m. just to get water before Nawek shut the taps. I barely had time for my family, she added. But with the new borehole, Binta says those battles are now history. This gift will not only strengthen our families, but will also boost our farming. We say a very big thank you to Nene. In sports, the 2025 Brikama Sports Committee Super Cup final between Kabafita United and Mandowar United has been postponed after just 6 minutes of play due to heavy rain at the Boxbar Mini Stadium. A new date and time for the rescheduled match will be communicated soon. Brikama Sports Committee (BSC) has apologized to fans for the inconvenience. BSC appreciated understanding and support from football lovers in Brikama and its environment. This is all we have for you in our today's newspaper review. Do stay tuned for more newspaper review, and please don't forget to subscribe, like and share our videos. I remain your presenter, Fatou George.